Yo, 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 what is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of NBA to the Galaxy podcast, presented to you by DSM Media, as well as your host, myself, Slim Scotty. You can follow me on X at R2R30111. You can follow the other host here at Scotty Drown. And as you can see by the title today, Bam out of the bayou. Big 83 points. My man made history there tonight. We're going to talk about that, obviously. We're going to talk about how Jayson Tatum has looked in his 3-game return and so on and so forth. But before we dive into any of those topics, my guy, Scotty, how you living today, brother?
Hey, I'm feeling pretty good. We are on Friday Eve, I can say. So one step closer to the weekend, man. As we always talk about, I'm happy to be here with you. We had some big events over the last few weeks. Obviously, you hit the nail on the head with Bam Adebayo. We're gonna discuss that to start the show. But the power rankings, they're getting interesting as we get closer and closer to the postseason, man. So once again, we're getting into the best time of the NBA season. Maybe not for Sixers fans, maybe not for myself. Yeah. I think I texted you before the show, brother. I think you could stick the fork in us where we cooked. I don't think we're gonna be. I'll be surprised if we make the play-in tournament. To be quite honest, bro.
We're in the same boat. We're in the same boat. Yes, I feel your pain.
Maxey out. Oubre had 31 the other night. Now he's out with the elbow injury. Like it just, we're missing like 4 of our 5 starters are out right now. So yeah, we're in the same boat, but that's why we have this show, bro, so we can talk about the other teams.
Yeah, I feel you on that for sure.
How you feeling,
like I said,
brother?
I'm feeling great, bro. I can't complain. Close to the end of the week, and I feel you. Like we're in the same boat. I mean, my Warriors ain't doing too good right now, so I feel you. Trust me. So it is what it is on that.
How's the setup on TikTok? To everybody out there, we're trying to get set up live on TikTok today as well, while we stream out here on YouTube and X. How's that looking?
So far, so cool. It looked pretty good. We had somebody tap in, but they had love. So. Cool. But it looked pretty cool.
We'll keep it moving. We will figure it out. We're trying to just find the best ways to get to the audience, man, get to the viewers. So yeah, we'll keep trying new things. Appreciate y'all tapping in nonetheless in the comments. And like Slim said at the beginning of the show, if you have thoughts, let us know in the comments. Get involved. Head over to the YouTube channel and show some love over there. But yeah, man, let's get into it, bro. Bam Adebayo, 83, breaks Kobe, goes past Kobe. Yeah. Second highest all-time scoring record in a single game, man. Where are we at? How are we feeling about big Bam Bam?
Let's talk about Bam Bam. 83 points, man. 9 rebounds. My brother has surpassed Kobe Bryant, the second most points in NBA history in the game. Who would ever thought that record would honestly get broken? And to be fair, with all due respect, I'm pretty sure none of us expected Bam to be the one to do it. But, second highest score game in NBA history, past Kobe, like I just mentioned, only behind Wilt Chamberlain, 100 points in the game. My man had 31 points in the first quarter that night against the Washington Wizards, 43 points at halftime, 43 free throws attempted, that is the NBA record, and 36 free throws made, that is the NBA record. So, man, when you think about Bam, like for him to go out there and do it, you got to give him a lot of praise and credit. I know there was a ton of people discrediting him for doing that, but at the end of the day, the Washington Wizards is a professional NBA team when it's all said and done. And when you look at where Bam came from, just like his journey to the league, initially he came in as like a lob threat, defensive orientated type of guy. And now look at him. He literally just cemented himself in NBA history forever. Like you can't overlook that. Like second most points in the game in NBA history, 83 points. So you got to acknowledge that and give him his flowers on that. Guy that pretty much got out the mud. Just ironically enough, I think the other day he has scored his 10,000 career point, and then to follow that up with 83 points is a testament to his work ethic for sure. Kudos to Eric Spoelstra, all those guys for just trying to make it happen for him to go out there and achieve that goal. So shout out to Bam, and it's valid in my opinion. It's valid for sure.
Yeah, no, I think valid is a good word to put on it, man. And I texted you a little bit about it. I was trolling a little bit about it. I obviously have some disdain for the Miami Heat as a Sixers fan, so it comes with a grain of salt, of course. But like you said, man, at the end of the day, 83 points It's going in the history books. It is valid. It is impressive, to say the least. And even with my haterade in mind and my context in mind, and all of that being said, the true hooper in myself that loves basketball understands what it takes to score 83 points in a
Oh yeah,
single
sure.
game, let alone at the professional level of the NBA, right? So definitely want to give kudos to Bam. And the thing where I fluctuate, I guess, as far as admiration and almost like it's hating on it in a sense. The reason I fluctuate is because I just think about the way foul baiting and foul merchant gets thrown around these days. And I think it's just like I almost penalize myself as a Sixers fan and always bring it back to like Joel Embiid and the Sixers. And I just think about if Joel Embiid went out in the fourth quarter up 20 points and got to the free throw line the most times in NBA history, would he be getting respected for breaking Kobe Bryant's record? And I just have to believe that no, he would not. He would get called a foul merchant. Everything, all the credit would be taken from Embiid. So that is where my mind comes from. I just want to make that transparent because I'm not hating on Bam. I'm hating on the style of the way the 83 points were accomplished, I guess you could say. And so the best way for me to put it, end all be all for me to put it, is Bam is incredibly talented. Way more talented than I thought he was as a scorer. That is one of the most impressive performances that I've ever seen in my life. It's not a top 5 most impressive scoring performance that I've seen in my life, even with it being the second most in a single game. That's the best way I can put it without disrespecting Bam and without disrespecting the game at the same time, if that makes sense. But I'm not the guy that's gonna go out here and tell a Heat fan not to go and like celebrate this or praise it. Like, do your thing. He scored 83 points. I'm not taking it that far. It's just that is my perspective. That's all I'm sharing here. I'm not gonna clown anybody for celebrating Bam doing that. It is impressive, to say the least.
Yeah, I feel for sure. Like it wasn't the most prettiest 83, but at the same time, you still got to acknowledge that he did that. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's still 83. He still
yeah, it's still
made
83.
36 free throws. Like he
Yeah,
still
like
did do these things. Yeah.
yeah, it ain't his fault that the Wizards couldn't stop fouling him. Like I watched the end of that game, they literally just could not stop touching him. So I mean, it got to the point like he was bringing the ball up. They was pressing him full court like 3 guys. So like I said, you got to commend him on doing it. Your boy Kelly Oubre had some interesting comments to say about that. The other night I had seen that. I was like, man, that's kind of crazy, bro. But
Why is he hating on Bam Adebayo? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That was interesting. Well, I guess he gave some context. He said it was, just because it's Kobe. I guess he loves Kobe and he just
yeah,
didn't want to
but
see it broken. But
I feel like records are meant to be broken.
yeah,
That's just the way I look at it. Like when you see a guy like Bam scores 83 points in a game, this leads to my question for you. Like, could we ever see someone break Wilt's 100? You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
down the line, I deeply believe that somebody would break Klay Thompson 3-point record in a game. Like you've seen guys flirt with it over the years. Seen
yeah,
Zach LaVine, Keegan Murray, all those guys kind of flirt with it. I think it's
yeah.
only a matter of time before we see those guys actually do it. So the
I
league's in good hand, though. I say that for sure. But do you ever think someone would break
That's a great
Wilt's
point.
100?
Yeah, no, I actually I think that's a great point. I think now that we've seen Bam do this, and I hate to make it sound like it sets a precedent, but to think that if somebody gets to 70 points and they're not gonna go and like try to like mandatorily manufacture them into that 80 to 90 point range, I think we'd be fooling ourselves. Like people are gonna try to get to that level, especially once you get up in the 50s, 60s, and you're starting to get close. So yeah, I do think at some point we're gonna see 100-point score. I don't know. I look at Bam in this game, right? And I think of him and I'm like, yes, he can score. He's gotten way better at shooting, being able to get to the foul line. But you look around the league at some of the guys that have like mastered the foul line or getting to the foul line, right? The SGAs of the world. It just makes me think, like, why can't SGA score 100 one day? But maybe it's just the team around him.
Yeah, the
Because
team.
that's the other side of it, right? You have to have a team that needs you to score that much, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, context definitely matter because in that game, no Tyler Hero, no Norman Powell, no Andrew Wiggins, pretty much they top 4 scorers on the team. Shit, Bam got the green light to just go out there and
let it fly.
So, yeah, and I'm pretty sure he knew that too. And so it just makes you think. Like I think about somebody like Klay Thompson, right? He had 60 points in 3 quarters. He did not play in the fourth quarter. Just imagine if he would have played in the fourth quarter, maybe he could have got 84, something like that. So
that's the same thing with Embiid, bro. He had like 70 points, but he played just a few minutes in the fourth quarter. He had 70 points, 18 rebounds against Victor Wembanyama. He was a rookie, but it's still Victor 7'4", alien-like mother sucker. Like, there's been a lot. That's what I meant, not to disrespect. There's just been a lot of great performances over the years. Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell, Luka had a 70. Was it 72?
Yeah, it was against Atlanta. I think it was 74.
73. I have it written down. I just need to look down. It's 73, but yeah, no disrespect to Bam, though. I would say definitely a top 10 scoring performance and still highly, highly impressive. And that's the struggle for me, man. Struggling between like the foul shots, the foul totals, but like Bam Adebayo doing it, it's still like very impressive for Bam Adebayo, who is a all-world defender.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what he's known for.
Yeah, that was his calling card in the league, bro. That's how he got playing time, defending, being a lob threat. Now look at him.
Yeah.
Taking most points in the game in NBA history. So kudos to Bam, man. He's definitely going to get paid behind a performance like that. I can guarantee you that. So,
is he working out with Asia Wilson? Picking up some offensive moves?
Yeah, Asia been teaching him a thing or two, you know what I'm saying?
She can score, for sure.
She got the most points in WNBA history in the game. So
does she? Yeah. Yo, that's tough. That's a tough power couple for sure.
It is, bro. That was genius.
Kudos to Bam, though, for real.
Yeah, shout out Bam, bro, for real. Got out the mud. Now look at him. Shout out. But where you want to pivot this thing to next? The power rankings?
Yeah, let's get them pulled up on the
let's get them pulled up, man. You know what I'm saying?
This is new edition. Nah, I'm happy to get this going again, man, because when we go through them like verbally, it just takes way too long of the show. Like then we don't even get to talk about anything else. So I think this is perfect, man. But I'll throw it to you, bro. Tell us what you got here.
Let's kick it off from number 10, the Los Angeles Clippers. This is a team that, you seen what Kawhi did last night. My man is playing some of the best basketball of his career. And I just love the additional pieces that they got, Garland and Mattering, those young guys being around them doing that thing. It's a respect thing for sure. Just seeing the way that they play is pretty cool. So shout out to the Clippers for making my power rankings and coming in at number 10. Man,
I think that is I think that's a great shot. My bad. I was taking my coat off there, getting a little hot in here. But no, I like the Clippers nod, man. They are starting to pick up steam, and I think what you pointed out there, they have some flexibility moving forward with that youth. I got the Cavs coming in at number 10. They did drop a little bit for me, but I do still have hope once they get Jared Allen back. If they can get him back soon, I do have hopes that they can pick up steam again back in that East. I still do love what Harden's doing out there with them. And Spite is back. He's starting to get back into the groove. They had a close one. I believe that was last night. Was it against the Celtics?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't
against Orlando.
Yeah.
I think Orlando ain't no winning, bro. I think Orlando ain't no winning.
Orlando been balling. But Cavs come in at number 10 for me, brother.
For sure. Coming in number 9 for me, I had the Cleveland Cavaliers, pretty much the same thing. It's crazy. Like, they do look low key different without Jared Allen. So let me find out that this man is like the moral compass making all this shit work. So yeah, but I agree with everything you said. Honestly, James Harden he played better last game. He fractured his hand or something like that.
Yeah, some type of fracture. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Some type of fracture in his hand.
Yeah,
I would have to double check. I'm not even sure which hand. I'd,
but
I'd imagine it can't be his shooting hand
yeah,
because he's been
but
shooting pretty well.
so yeah, pretty much agree on that.
Number 9 for me, brother. You can see it there. Orlando Magic. I think they've won 5 games in a row, but since the All-Star break, they've been one of the best teams in the NBA, and they're not doing it through defense. Not entirely through defense. They're doing it through a well-positioned offense. They're getting Paolo in the paint where he works best, and he's starting to have some major success. I think he took that All-Star snub personally. I think that hurt Paolo. And he's bounced back since. So we'll see where the Magic can go from here, brother.
For sure. Coming in number 8 for me, I had the Minnesota Timberwolves, pretty much the same. We agree on that. Shit, what Ayo, I love the fit of Ayo and Bone Highland been doing this thing for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree on that.
Yeah, no, the Minnesota Timberwolves, they dropped a little bit for me in my rankings, but I'm still pretty high on them. I still like what they're doing. And got to start shooting the ball a little bit better. He's had a little bit of a shooting slump lately. At least the other night, he came out, he was shooting bricks out there. I think that was against the Lakers, actually. Yeah, the Lakers T-Wolves game I was watching the other night. Got to see that firsthand. They didn't look great, but to your point, Ayo's been a great addition. I think they'll start to pick the play back up here soon.
For sure. At number 7, I had the Miami Heat. They're on a 6-game winning streak, and then obviously, bam, 83 points in the game is nuts, bro. So it's literally that simple. Bam, bam.
I feel that. The Heat are, the Heat were an honorable mention for me, so they're making their way up into my power rankings. Didn't make it this time, but they'll be there soon if they keep going. For me, number 7, I have the LA Lakers. Funny enough, man, they actually rose up a little bit. It's funny, LeBron's been out.
That's funny.
They've won 4 games in a row, something like that. LeBron's been out.
Man.
4 games? Oh, my bad. 3 games in a row. 3 games in a row. LeBron's been out of all of them, though. Luka leading the way. Austin Reeves finding his groove. But yeah, Lakers playing some good ball.
That's one hell of a coincidence. For sure. But coming in number 6, I had the Orlando Magic. This is a team I do want to shed some light on. Obviously, I hit you up like a few weeks ago. I was like, man, Orlando has to be the biggest disappointment of this season. Because it's like, bro, they literally had everything they needed, and they went out there and got Bane. I thought that was the piece that they needed. Not saying like to win a championship, but to make them better. And they just been losing, been inconsistent. So shit, now like ever since All-Star break, they've been playing much better. Paulo finally, started playing like he's supposed to, like not settling, getting down here, getting to the rim. So they just been winning games as of late. And they've been moving up in the standings. I think they're like the 5th seed in the East, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. They have them and the Heat. They have surpassed the Sixers and the Raptors in the East. So they are moving up the standings for sure. Number 6 for me is going to be those Denver Nuggets. Man, I want them to be higher on my list. Like, I do think of them higher than this when it comes to like playoff contention, thinking of them as contenders. They did just get Aaron Gordon back, so I guess I got to give them some time. The other night, Christian Brown, my bad. I always do that. Braun. His name's Christian Brown, even though it's spelled the way it's spelled. Christian Brown. That man was going off the other night, bro. He was cooking. They're looking good, but they're just so up and down, bro. They'll win a big game and then they'll lose against somebody that they shouldn't. I expect them to turn it on at some point over the next month as we approach the playoffs. They start getting everybody back healthy. But they're a team that can win the title is what I'm trying to say. I'm just waiting for them to put it together consistently. But still a lot of talent on that roster, man.
Yeah, I agree for sure. Somebody on TikTok said new team and injuries for the Magic. Yeah, they've been dealing with some injuries. Like I know Fran's been pretty much in and out the
Yeah.
rotation all
Anthony
year in the
Black
off.
as well.
Yeah, Edna Black and Suggs. So yeah, I agree. Bang, he been pretty solid all year though. I get it to him. He pretty efficient from the field.
Oh, yeah, he was very impressive last night. And I say that because I think of him as this like 3-point specialist, right? But he was doing everything last. He was scoring from
Yeah,
everywhere last
uh,
night, man. 3 levels.
when they was dealing with injuries in Memphis, he had the chance to showcase his skill. He could, be a point guard too, more
Yeah,
than just a shooter. So yeah,
absolutely.
but coming in at number 5 for me, this is something we both agree on. The Detroit Pistons, man, like the fact that they still top 5 on both our lists, I think that says a lot. They just been kind of going through it as of late, been pretty
Yeah,
much losing a lot of games.
yeah.
And I think that it just shows that what they desperately need, and that's like a secondary score, on a night-to-night basis. But the good thing about a team like Detroit, like they had the flexibility to fix it in the offseason. So I wouldn't look too much into it for real, but come playoff this season is definitely gonna be a problem. So they top 5 of my power rankings.
Yeah, they're top 5 for me too. And you look at their record and it almost feels like I'm disrespecting them by putting them below like the Knicks and the Celtics, specifically the Knicks, obviously. But they've lost 4 out of their last 5 to your point, and they're just not playing good basketball. They are great defensively. They rely a lot on Cade Cunningham to
Yeah.
manufacture just about everything for their team. And yeah, to your point, I think it's going to come back. It's going to hurt them come postseason, not against like the bottom seeds of the East, not in the first round, but when they get into the later rounds against the Knicks, the Celtics of the world, even the Cavs, the guys that have multiple guys that can put the ball on the floor and score it, I think they're going to have some trouble because there's teams out there that are close to as good defensively as Detroit. There's a lot of teams that are better or more well-rounded offensively as well. So
Yep.
we'll see if they can pick it up, as the season closes out.
Yeah, I agree for sure. Coming at number 4 for me, I had the Denver Nuggets. They're starting to get hefty, and they can honestly be a scary thing if you think about it. Like you seen what Peyton Watson was able to do when all those guys went down with injuries. He just took advantage of the opportunity,
Is
showcase his
he?
skill. Who Peyton Watson?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's injured. Yeah, he's
Oh,
been out
okay.
like
I
the
was
past
gonna say I
month.
haven't seen him in a while. Okay.
Yeah, Aaron Gordon just came back against OKC Monday, so
Yeah.
nonetheless, they're starting to get hefty. I think they could be a scary sight for sure when you look at all those guys' skill set surrounding around Jokic and Murray. It could do wonders for their team. So I got the number 4 on my top 10 power rankings. Obviously, they have been kind of like iffy, like on winning games and stuff, but they'll get back in that flow for real, especially before postseason comes.
Yeah, no, I think we feel the same about our number 4 teams here. I think that we're at the same place. Obviously, different teams, but I think we personally are mentally at the same place as far as expectations for these teams. You
Mhm.
look at the Knicks, man, they're another team in the Eastern Conference where you like them, you don't like them. They're still a contender in the Eastern Conference to make it out of the conference. They are good enough. They showed it last year. We know what Brunson's ceiling looks like. It's just once again the ups and downs. They'll go and they'll have 3 game span where they just don't look like they're clicking right, and then they'll go in a 5 or 6 game span where they're locked in, looking like the best team in the NBA. You just got to balance out, find the consistency. I think they have the talent. I think they have the coaching to get where they want to get to in the postseason. It's just going to be finding that consistency from guys like OG, from guys like Mikal Bridges. I saw him with a massive stinker the other night, bro. And that just,
Yeah.
like Mikal Bridges, you traded 6 first-round picks for. Like, that just can't happen, right? He should be able to give you a solid, I'm lowballing, like 12 to 15 points, man. Like, that's not asking for a lot from Mikal Bridges. So finding consistency from those other guys outside of Cat and Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, he's capable of doing it, so
He is.
I feel you on that for sure. But coming in number 3, well, from 3 on up, we pretty much agree on everything. So
Yeah.
coming in number 3 for the both of us is the Boston Celtics. My man Tatum came back last Friday. He looked pretty good, I'd say. Like obviously there's some rush there. He got
Yeah.
to get back up to game speed, but for the most part, he looked pretty good. So shout out to him. And what you think about what you've seen from the Celtics since he has returned?
Yeah, I thought I think it's crazy how he returned, man. You go back to the first game against Dallas, comes back 15 points, 12 rebounds. He's just contributing any way he can to the team. You've seen them try to kind of figure out once again that balance between him, Jaylen Brown, and the ball and getting all of
Yeah.
that figured out. But I think they are gradually doing it well. I think Tatum's playing more minutes than I really expected him to play, quite honestly, as well. Which is a good thing. I would assume that means his body, his leg is responding well to the play. They had a tough game the other night against San Antonio, but it's San Antonio, right? That's the team ahead of them. They are a legitimate contender. They are very good defensively, and you saw Jaylen Brown get a little frustrated in that game as well. But I think the Celtics are right there, man. I think they are the team to beat in the East, especially having firepower of the likes of Jayson Tatum back in the lineup, man.
I agree for sure. Maybe they can do something into the postseason. If not, still a successful season, in my opinion. So
that's a great point, honestly. Yeah, that's a great point.
Coming in number 2 for the both of us, man. San Antonio Spurs, man. This is a team been pretty consistent all year. The only thing I question with them come playoffs time is just their playoff experience, honestly. Everything else they got, bro. The versatility, offensively and defensively. They check everything on the list. So San Antonio Spurs, very worried they're being top 2.
I agree with everything you said, man. That's exactly how I feel about them. They are a championship contender. The only thing they're missing is experience. That's the only reason that if it came down to Western Conference Finals, OKC versus San Antonio, I'm going to pick OKC because they have the experience. Next year, I won't be able to say that. So, because I think this is like a crash course headed for San Antonio, OKC, Western Conference Finals. I hope the seeding plays out that way. I think it will, as long as they're the 1 and 2 seed, right? But yeah, I think these are clearly the 2 best. OKC obviously got the better record. They have played a little bit better this season, but they do have the experience. That's the one up that they have for my money.
For sure. On TikTok, a bold take, Spurs is not going deep. Somebody like the Nuggets will expose their lack of experience. I can see that.
I don't even know if that's a hot take. I guess it's a hot take compared to what I just said, right? But it's very fair because where are the Nuggets at right now? They're at the 5 seed. So if the seeding played out the way it plays out, Spurs would take on the Suns in the first round, which obviously you have the play-in. That could change a lot, right? No, I can see it. Second round, you end up playing the Nuggets or shit, you play the T-Wolves. They for sure beating the T-Wolves. The T-Wolves I struggle with because I don't know if they have championship caliber talent to compete with OKC and San Antonio and those teams.
I feel you on that.
But they've been to the Western Conference Finals 2 years in a row. They find a way. I don't know.
I'd say the only advantage I give San Antonio over any team is that they don't have a human being on their team.
That's an outlier.
That's the luxury you have with having Wemby, bro. He's not a human.
That is fair. That is fair. That is the outlier.
Yeah.
Hey, the Wizards guy will be back.
Yeah, he'll be back, man. He'll be back, man.
You try to play him, Martian. What's good, though, Martian? Speaking of aliens, right?
If you guys that's on TikTok want to tap in, go to the Galaxy Pod on YouTube. You can see everything, the whole setup on there.
Yes, sir.
But and obviously OKC was number 1 for us. So
yeah, my bad. I pulled it off the screen. But yeah, OKC number 1.
Yeah, we ain't got down to that for real. So.
Yeah, it's self-explanatory.
Yeah, exactly. We know what it is.
What you think about Martian's question here, though?
He said, "Y'all believe in the Cavs. Who is more fraudulent, the Cavs or the Pistons?" I will probably go with the Cavs. It's like with Detroit. Like if they come up short this year, how fraudulent are they really though? You know what I'm saying? Because when you look
Right.
at their team, it's not like it was just highly favored to be like a contending type of team this year. If that makes sense. Like they just made the most out of it, and they still
Yeah.
the number one seed, right, in the East.
Yeah. 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 They
So
are.
yeah, like I think
No.
Cleveland would be that because like obviously their roster is built to contend for a title.
Yeah, no, and I do agree. They do have James Harden. As much as I love James Harden and the time that we had him on the Sixers, he has never won on the biggest stage. So yeah, he kind of adds into that as well. Um, it's interesting, man, because it was the first time. And don't ask me why it took me so long to think of it, because I'm sure there's plenty of other people that thought of it sooner. But when we were on our show last week, and I asked you who is Detroit's second go-to scorer,
Mhm.
Jalen Duren? No disrespect. No disrespect. But like go-to scorer.
They don't have that.
Right. It's
Initially,
divided.
we thought it was gonna be Jaden Ivey when he came back from injury, but that didn't work out.
Yeah,
Because it's like if Duran is like your second best scorer, then he's not going to give as much defensively like he's normally accustomed to doing, and
that's a
that's a
good
problem
point.
for sure. It's a
That's a good
problem.
point. No, Mr. Moss tapping in. Appreciate you. Is he from TikTok? Is this the connection here?
I do not know. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know.
Ah, well, he says let him cook with us. Hit
Yeah,
us
keep
up,
it
DM
moving.
us. Get in touch, brother. For sure. We're
Sure.
always down for guests. Um, Martian says he's with you. Cavs built on two fraudulent playoff players, and damn, and Harden and Mitchell.
Hey, and not too much on Mitchell, bro. Not too
I
much.
was gonna say, is Spida a fraud? A playoff
James
fraud?
Harden, yeah, but Donovan Mitchell ain't that fraudulent, bro. His playoff numbers speak for themselves.
I'm looking up his playoff numbers.
He averaging like down at 30, bro. No
That's what
cap.
I thought. I thought he has crazy playoff numbers. Now, the last two seasons, I think, with Cleveland, he's ended up like injured. Like, I don't think he's played like full series, but yeah, career
This I
playoff
can
average 28
I
points
could
per game.
yeah, 28. I could agree with this though, Martian. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that a little bit more, just because of the last few years. He's just had some injuries he couldn't work through.
Yeah,
But
I agree. He definitely valid. He might not just ever get on one. I mean, the way their roster is currently built, they could do something this year. I just don't trust James Harden in the postseason, but the way he has been having Allen look, that's a great sign. I'm pretty sure
yeah,
him and Mobley figure things out. They got good depth over there. Keon Ellis, Dennis Schroeder, Tyson, Max Strus are yet to play a game, but nonetheless, I like the way their team is built around Donovan Mitchell because now he can really focus on just scoring, if that makes sense. Like let Harden play making stuff. So
yeah,
I was
no,
asking on TikTok over here, bro. My bad.
oh, I got you. No worries. And then Marsha said, "Did y'all talk Bam? Yeah. Why is everyone hating?" We did. We talked about that at the beginning of the show, and even I, an admitted hater of the Miami Heat, could give Bam his kudos. So yeah, I feel you, Martian. I really do.
Don't be a hater, bro. Don't hate on Bam.
Yeah,
Don't hate on him.
Bam's an authentic hooper. I don't, it. It is crazy. It's just out of all the people that have had high scoring performances, he's the one that does it on the free throw line. Like,
They just couldn't stop fouling him though, bro. Like
I know.
that's
Yeah, that's the point I keep missing. It's
it's
just
really not his fault that they just keep like heckling him, bro. Like what is he
no,
supposed to
not at
do?
all.
They
No,
want to take
not
this
at all,
thing to the
Martian.
next.
But no, man. You got anything else before we get out of here? Mr. Moss, it's not that we don't let folks up. I know we're running up on the end of the show here shortly, so I don't know if it would be worth it. But tap in, subscribe, follow us on X or TikTok or wherever it is that you indulge, and we can get in touch. We love guests.
Yeah, for sure. You want to end this show talking about your Sixers, or you want to talk about the Celtics?
Yeah, let's touch on the you want to touch on the Sixers?
Yeah, you know. The Philadelphia 76ers season has been derailed by injuries, man, including Tyrese Maxey going to be missing some time, like what approximately going to be out for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Obviously, Joel Embiid, Paul George, man, suspended for the rest of the year, bro. So, I mean, you a Sixers fan, talk to us, bro. How you feeling, bro?
I feel defeated, but I feel defeated like times like 1.5, I guess, if that makes sense. Like I guess I wouldn't feel as defeated if we could close the season out with VJ Edgecombe, our rookie, and Jared McCain, our former second year player. If we had that youth that we could close out the season, them get their experience, get their chemistry together, right? Play together. Maybe you throw in a Barlow with them who's also like 23-ish. And you get that young core, that young nucleus working together. Even Quentin Grimes, right? You could throw him in the mix there. That would give me a little bit of like hope, a little bit of worth throughout the rest of the season. The injuries just keep piling up. I told you at the beginning of the show, I'll be surprised if they make the play-in, man. I really will. I think the Atlanta Hawks, we talked about the Magic and the Miami Heat. They've won 6 in 5 games in a row. The Hawks have won 7 games in a row. And they're below us right now, I think by just 1 game. And so over the next 3 weeks-ish, because that's when Maxey gets reevaluated. It's not like when he returns. You know what I mean? Like, same thing with Embiid. A week ago, he's supposed to be reevaluated in a week. Right. He's still not returning. So I just always assume the worst case scenario. So I imagine Maxey will probably be out the rest of the year. Paul George will come back just in time for the play-in if we do make it, and have a stinker just so we can feel bad about him as well. And, even Kelly Oubre. He has a great game last game against Memphis. We get the W. Mind you, it took close to 25 points from Grimes. It took 21 points from VJ. It took an 8 for 8 3-point night for Campaign.
Yeah.
Career.
Yeah. I peeped that, bro. I peeped that, yeah.
And then on top of all that, also Oubre, 31 points. It took all of that to get a win against the Ja Morantless Grizzlies. So my point, we lose Oubre after that game as well. I don't see how we're gonna survive the rest of the season, man. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Man. That's our luck, though. I'm not devastated. It is the Sixers' luck to a T.
I mean, yeah, that's how me and you are similar in a sense. Like, we both think the same. Like, with you being a Sixers fan, me being a Warriors fan.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't care at this point. It just is what it is. Like, you can't get too worked up about this shit, bro. Like, you already know what's going to happen before it even happens. Like, before the season starts, look at the roster, be like, yeah, it's gonna be a long season. So, it just is what it is.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is, bro. And I think, coming into the season, and maybe some Sixers fans thought differently. I never thought we were going to win an NBA championship or even compete for one this year. I told you I'll be happy if we make it to the Eastern Conference Finals one year with Embiid on the team, man. That would be a dream to make it, not win it.
Yeah, just make the conference finals for the first time in the Joel Embiid era. Just get there.
That would be like an all-time Sixers W for me. But no, I just think, I look at who are some teams that could jump them. So you got the Hornets in Atlanta under the Sixers. So they should make the play-in. I mean, Milwaukee shouldn't leap over the Sixers.
Mm-hmm.
They're about 7 or 8 games behind the Sixers. So the Sixers should at least keep the 10 seed. But like without Maxey, Embiid, Oubre, I'm forgetting. It doesn't matter. Those are the main ones. Without those guys, Sixers aren't better than the Hornets. They're not better than the Hawks. They're not better than the Magic. They're not better than the Heat. They're not better than any of those teams, let alone the top of the East. So Why not just commit to a full rebuild?
Yeah. Trying to build around the franchise, man.
It's something that should be considered as much as I love Embiid. I don't know what you can do with Embiid, though. I don't think people would trade for him, not for the value that you would like want, I guess. You never know if he's going to be like healthy again in his career, right? So it's a tough spot. It's a tough spot, man. They should have at least kept McCain, and I would probably be in a little bit more like hopeful for the future type of mood, but they just find any way to mess it up, brother.
Yeah.
Toxic organization.
Yeah, I feel you on that, bro. So we unfortunately, Chad, we got to end the show off talking about the Sixers and their look. But we're gonna try to be back here again next week tapping in with you guys. So if you new, man, we got a few new people tap in. Just subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already, to the Galaxy Pod, as well as the TikTok NBA to the Galaxy Pod. We're gonna try our best to start streaming over here and just keep trying to grow the brand, man, and move forward. Appreciate everybody that tapped in. You got something you want to say, Scotty?
No, just want to thank you once again for hosting the show so brilliantly and smoothly as you do, my man Slim. And like you said, thank you to everybody out there that took just a few minutes or maybe took the whole 41 minutes to watch our show here. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. And definitely feel free to hit us up on social media, man. You got our names right here on the screen as far as our handles on X, Instagram, so on and so forth. Hit us up if you want to hop on the show, talk hoops. We're always down to have guests, but more importantly, subscribe to that YouTube channel. Help us grow there, and you'll be seeing more and more streams from us. So appreciate y'all.
Peace.
Peace.